Okay, so today we're looking at Dirty Bad Wrong, right? It is the new short film from Erica Orofino. Erica writes and directs the joint. It is produced by Fonna-Tasha Sedu. Anthony William Wallace took care of the music. Gabriela Uso Vadan was on cinematography. Anna Catley is on editing duties. All right, casting was handled by Jesse Griffiths. Nikki Watson is production design. Hair and makeup, we have Aaron Bensel. And our cast. Well, Sid is played by Michaela Kurimsky. Right? Her kid Jesse is played by Jack Greig. Then there is the John Doe, played by Cody Ray Thompson, and Maria. Right, she's the person on the train, played by Chantel Winters. So yeah, that's the crew, right? That's people involved with this. Oh, special effects are handled by Catherine Hoos. Okay, so yeah, let us get to the gist of the story. Desperate to keep her promise to host the best superhero party for her 6-year-old, young mother Sid, a sex worker, takes extreme measures and books a last minute client with a dark fetish. Dirty Bad Wrong is a drama body horror that explores the darkest side of capitalism and just how far we'll go for the ones we love. Boy, yeah, I wasn't expecting this, right? Now, we've got a statement from Erica. It reads, "My instinct as a filmmaker is to say nothing about this film and allow you to watch it and come to your own conclusion. I would be doing you a great disservice if I told you what meaning you should take away from it. Instead, I will use this space to write that I am fascinated with people, that I love when a character makes a decision that can be seen as neither right nor wrong, and what motivates people to behave the way they do. I am interested in exploring relationships, a woman's relationship to her body, a mother's relationship to her child, a person's relationship to their means of living, and yeah, there is, there's a lot here, right? It definitely makes you ask some questions, right? To ponder situations, right? We see Sid and the decision she makes. Look, you get the decision she makes, right? Because what else do you do? Do you break the promise? Now, you could easily break the promise, right? You could even be like, oh, this came up, blah, blah, blah. But, what does that then do to that relationship? So you get what she's doing. It also makes sense to when she's watching Maria, right? Like that. You're like, oh, I get it. I get it. It's definitely a lot of emotions watching this film. I really love the way it starts because we just see Sid sitting there, headphones around her neck, and this music is playing. And then out of nowhere, this little hand is like kind of pulling at her shoulder and at her hair. And then we pan out and we see her kid is by her. And you're like, oh, okay. And when she puts the headphones on the kid, you're like, okay. Right? So we're watching these dynamics, right? When she's with John Doe, we're darker. Things are darker, which I think that says a lot, right? It's a darker situation. But then we see the lightness with Jessie, right? The way she's acting and, the joyfulness. What I thought was interesting, though, was like we see some of Jessie's drawings, and that makes you wonder, what does Jessie know? Right? What does Jessie know? What's happening here? It's very interesting, right? Because again, like you go, is John Doe in the wrong? Is John Doe, fair? Right? Because obviously there's something that he wants, and he's not forceful on it at the beginning. And that's something that, I'm sure there's some people that would be, right? So you can say that he's putting, the ball in her court. But when someone needs money, right? y- Are you really giving them a choice? Right? This film makes you ask those questions, which is super interesting. You know what I mean? Super interesting, right? And we end like I think the way this film ends, like the lead up to the end, because we had that pull back and you're wondering what else is happening here. You know what I mean? Like, what else is happening? Yeah, oh, it's perplexing. It has you just questioning everything. Like, I mean, it's really well done. It looks really good. The acting is fantastic. Acting is fantastic. I mean, Michaela does such a good job. Such a good job with Sid. You know? I mean, I think Cody Ray Thompson as our John Doe is good, right? It's that very ominous, kind of foreboding kind of presence. I think they're the big standouts here. Like Chantel doesn't have a lot, right, to do, but it's interesting, right? It's the way the shifting clothes, the shifting movement and stance, right? Jack Greig as Jesse really gives us that youthful kid energy. But I mean, he's a kid, so you know what I mean? Like but no, I like this one. I did like this one. It was, yeah, very interesting. It is playing, right, as part of Perilous Ports. The short block, right? It's Perilous Ports, Tours of Northern Terror. Dum, dum, dum. And it will be doing its thing on Monday the 29th at 4:25 p.m. at the Salle Jadot in Montreal. So yeah, I mean, if you've seen any of Erica's, films up to this, right, you know what she does, right? So you'll want to check this out for sure. Right? It's I say it's not for the squeamish, but it's not like gruesome. We're not seeing a load of crazy things, but it's just the implications of it all, right? It makes you ponder things. So I think you have to kind of be like, oh, do I want to be thinking about certain things here? But yeah, people, if you get a chance, check out Dirty Dirty Bad Wrong. It is definitely worth a look. Definitely worth a look. Dirty Bad Wrong.